Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host Valerie, coming to you from the 2024 Moontower Comedy Festival. My sometime co-hosts, Ms. Purrington and Mookie, are resting at home. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, we bring you articles, album reviews, our advice column, a festivals page, and if you're interested, an FPIA page with a history of the contest. And you can find all of my Austin Chronicle articles on the website as well. And you'll find all of the best comedy shows on our events page for Austin, Houston, and DFW. If you're a comic in those cities and want your show featured on the calendar, click Submit a Show at the top of our homepage to complete the short survey. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we'll share your show promo. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Comedy Wham. Looking for ways to support all these resources we provide? You can donate to Comedy Wham on PayPal, Venmo, or even Patreon. Search for Comedy Wham on Patreon and check out our subscriber perks. And we're also offering promo boosts for your listed events on Instagram. Now let's get back to our podcast. Launched in 2016, the Podcast Project brings you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and we usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the comedy scene as fascinating off stage as it is on stage. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us.
Small talk.
Yeah. Small talk.
Chit chat.
Yapping.
Yeah. What?
How about that show last night?
Oh, that
How
show was
about
amazing.
that show last
Oh
night?
my
Are you
God.
joking?
What's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke because I'm Jewish, so I'm tone deaf.
Oh, I thought were you not at a karaoke thing?
No, I've
yesterday
never
with
done
your
karaoke.
friends?
Oh, that's right, I was. Oh, yes, that's right, I was.
So if you weren't tone deaf, what would be your karaoke
If I wasn't
song?
tone deaf, I would do maybe like Eminem.
Oh.
Maybe like a real Slim Shady or something. Because I feel like
Oh, rapid fire,
talk
yeah.
rapping is a bit easier than singing anything. What's your go-to?
Yeah, my go-to, Wonderwall.
Oh, lovely. That's lovely. What's yours?
Yeah. I know what yours is. I can predict what yours is.
What's Up?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's What's Up by Four Not Blondes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Anyway, all right. Today, we are recording live on location at the Driscoll Hotel. We met this comic not last year, but at the 2022 Moontower JFL. Caught up with her at last year's festival, catching up with her now. And we have a fourth that we forgot when she came to headline Cap City at New Year's. Hopefully she'll come back to headline Cap City. Anyway, you can listen to her judo award-winning album, Little Bit of Buddle, and her podcast, Obsessed with Sophie Buddle, which I keep bringing up because it's such a good podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still out there. She's been on The Late Show with James Corden. So last year I had this note. She's recorded her first special, and we'll hopefully get an update on that because it's been a year. But in the meantime, she toured with a little-known comic named Taylor Tomlinson, and has made an appearance on Taylor's hit late-night show After Midnight. And now Comedy Wham presents our returning guest, Sophie Buddle.
Hello. Yeah, I've been really loving After Midnight.
Yeah.
Like the Taylor's new show. I've been watching like other late night stuff, especially because it leads into Taylor Tomlinson's thing, and I find it's very refreshing. I really liked the original At Midnight show. That was the only live taping show I went to when I was first thinking about moving to the States. I went to LA and I went to New York, and the only like live studio audience thing I did was I went to at midnight when it was Chris Hardwick hosting, and so it's like kind of feels like a crazy full circle moment.
It's very cool that she landed that.
I know. I mean, I was on the road with her when she landed that, and I felt like I had a little scoop with me.
Yeah. I was surprised because she's been so big, so fast.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really I've never seen her perform.
Okay.
And I watched the first of her Netflix specials, and I'm like, oh, I get it. I get why she's so the writing that she does.
Really good writing,
Very good
really
writing.
prolific. Like
Yeah.
her and I are the same age, and she's done like 4 different hour specials. I'm still tinkering with 1 hour. Like really, it's really impressive.
Yeah.
And she's kind of one of those classic stories of like, so big so fast, but like overnight success that took 15 years to make, because she started when she was 15 or 16 too.
Yeah.
And she started in like the church circuit. Like she was like a religious comic because she grew up very religious, and then kind of like peeled off of that. And she was telling me, thank you. She was telling me that her first Netflix special came out right when the pandemic started, and so everybody watched Tiger King and Taylor Tomlinson. And then I was saying that she should time pandemics with every special she puts out.
Well, luckily the others seem to have been doing just as well without a pandemic.
I know, she doesn't need it. It's just not that she needs it. It's just, wouldn't that be cute if they all timed out together? Start a little conspiracy about it.
Taylor's behind all these pandemics.
Her specials that's the wet market that we keep hearing about. But even like late night feels really different than it did even a couple years ago, because obviously like Conan left, and comedians were so sad. It was such like an important place for stand up. Yeah. And then Trevor left, and then Taylor started, and like so many things have been moving around. Yeah. And then there's another late night thing happening now. That's exactly what I was going to talk about. Jon Stewart. I have been loving Jon Stewart back on the Daily Show, and they were really confusing all of us with all the guest hosts, and like really wouldn't pick someone, and it was like I didn't know what they were going to do, because clearly they were trying to pick someone that would make headlines, because they made a real point of not hiring any of the correspondents, which it kind of feels like that's like
it's a bit of a slight.
I know, it feels a little bit like that's why you get hired as a correspondent, because you might be the host, And so, I mean, Jon Stewart, is everybody can be happy with that. He's so good. I've been watching I think he's on Mondays or something. Yeah. But he's really so good, and it's like feels like a really good time. It's an election year. There's all the chaos in the other parts of the world.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We needed John. It's the second coming of John.
Speaking of news all over the world, I complimented you a few weeks ago because you've been doing these little Instagram stories. And I'm sure there is great intention to it, but I was describing to a friend what you were doing. You were like covering these political topics, but you were very smart because you wear a blouse that is
low cut,
and you can't scroll past that.
Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Well, that's one thing. That's one thing that I'm talking about with my stand-up a lot. Is like I dress so that men will listen, and then I do jokes for women. Everybody gets something, because I am quite mean to men in my stand-up, and so it's like I got to do something for them. And then, I mean, girls like boobs too, but little one for them, one for us,
But for the record, you get the draw from that, but like the one that you did on the Israel-Hamas conflict, I'm like, you very clearly did your homework.
Yeah.
And we already know from last year's interview and going deep into ChatGPT and random topics, you are really well read, and you research a lot of
politics,
things.
I love politics. I love world politics specifically, because you can really see much bigger trends than really, like, we can get so caught up in the weeds about one bill getting passed or whatever here, and I don't find that very interesting. I find the kind of bigger trends more interesting, and you have to look at world trends because it affects individual countries and laws even. So obviously the Israel-Hamas stuff is like really on top of everybody's mind, people that are not usually politically engaged. And so it is nice to do, like, I did a smaller story that's like outskirts of that story, because that's kind of what I want my focus for these little political things to be, is stories that are not the main headlines, for people that are like not getting through all the weeds of the stuff. And so, my next one is about the Chinese government keeps naming Indian territories in Mandarin, which is like kind of aggressive because it's like they're doing that so that in 50 years they can be like, oh, these are ours. Yeah, it's a Mandarin name, but because it's not violent. Nobody can really react to it. It's just annoying. But like that's the kind of thing that's like nobody's read about that, and it's like really interesting and funny to me. So that's like something the government does. And so that's like I feel like late night shows that don't really cover super small stories, and then people that don't read the news all day will just never hear about it. And so it feels like a really a deep well of comedy.
Yeah, for sure.
And my boobs will be out as well, and so that's fun for everybody.
I mean, I don't lean that way, but I'm like, that's lovely.
I mean, you didn't scroll away. So
I did not.
I'm making everyone question things as well, which is fun.
I am questioning my leanings.
Good. No, we got it. We got her. We got her on the record.
Sorry, Stephen.
Sorry, Stephen. Suck it. Gonna take your girl.
So was there something that motivated you to kind of go into this area of like, hey, I want to share my opinions with people and educate?
Well, my favorite stand-up to write about is politics stuff, and everybody knows like stand-up really is best when it's somewhat evergreen. Like it might be something that was a big deal that year and you put it on your special, but I think really good stand-up is evergreen. And I'm always reading the news, so it almost felt like a waste of which is like already a thing in itself with like. I try not to monetize every hobby of mine because it's like we live in such a like an overproductive, industry that I do try to have some stuff that is just for fun, that is just for me. But politics is not like it is related to stand up, and so I was writing some jokes and doing them on stage that are kind of super hyper. Recent, but it didn't feel quite right for that format, and so this was the first time that I was like, oh, this is a perfect thing that could live online. Whereas I think last year we probably talked about me being stressed out posting stuff online because I wasn't really. Everybody's doing it now, and it is such a good way to build an audience, and it's like it's a really new part of our job as stand-ups is to be like social media influencers. And I was talking about it with my manager, and he was like, you just have to find a way to make social media your own. Like you're creative, you gotta find a way that doesn't feel cringy to you. And then I was kind of like, oh my god, like what am I supposed to do? But I realized that little political things is like it's fun for me to do, it's easy for me to do, and it's like if something's fun and easy, that's what you should be doing. And people are going to get mad at me because I'm a woman on the internet talking about politics, and so it's a little bit of free engagement. All my videos get, some comments.
Get some haters. Get some haters.
Yeah, I have a new system that I've actually been recommending to mostly female comics. Is if somebody leaves a really mean comment, pin it, because then it's at the top, and then everybody that likes you will fight them, and then you get a bunch of extra comments too.
That's so genius.
I know, I haven't seen anybody else doing this, so I'm trying to spread the word.
Okay, well, I don't get haters, so I can't. Maybe I should post
Can't relate.
something.
Everybody loves me. I can't relate to the hater.
I'll start planting.
Okay.
Yeah, I can direct some of mine to you if you need me.
All right.
If you're feeling left out.
Well, you said manager, and the reason that I had originally met you was through a now former manager.
Yeah.
So how is that process of going from one? Because I know your former manager, but I still don't really understand the whole management system.
No,
so
I don't.
How was that to make a change?
Really either. No, it was quite scary, and I really loved my old manager. I consider him truly a good friend, and it was like it was not a pleasant decision at all. But I just really needed to feel like I was moving up. Like I really needed to feel like I was being considered for bigger things, and I just was finding my contemporaries were talking about being considered, not even getting, but just being considered for things that I didn't really feel like I was in the room for. And so that was kind of my big choice. It was like I want to be at least considered for these things. And it was like that was kind of the only business decision I've ever made in my life, besides maybe moving to the States. But it was stressful. It was really hard. And I'm glad that I did it, but it didn't feel very good. It's like going through a breakup because, he had been my manager for a long time. And I also haven't been through a breakup in so long. I've been with my boyfriend for 8 years. And so I was like, I forgot that when you break up with someone, you have to just really be the bad guy, and you just have to be okay with being the bad guy, which is like nobody wants to be the bad guy. And so even if both people want to break up, if whoever does it is the bad guy. Yeah. And so it's just sitting with your choices. Yeah. Have you guys broken up with people? Yeah, and if it doesn't feel good, right? Even if it's the right thing to do.
I broke up with her right before you shut up.
And now she's giggling like a schoolgirl. I know, loves it. She loves it.
I was ready to move on.
But but I'm also in Canada. Nobody has managers. Like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even really know. I didn't know anything about it. In Canada, people have acting agents, but there's no stand-up agents. We do all of our own booking. And so for the first 10 or 12 or 13 years of me doing stand-up, I did 100% all my own booking. Yeah. It just truly doesn't exist in Canada because there's so many fewer comedy clubs and so many fewer cities that you just end up, if you're a touring professional stand-up in Canada, you have a relationship with every club. You'd send them a Facebook message and you're like, hey, I'm booking. So it's pretty low, it's pretty easy. Yeah. And then moving to the States, it's like, oh, everybody has agent and manager and lawyer and blah blah blah. But it's because it's such a huge country. There's so many different people in so many different cities. A lot of clubs only answer emails from reps that they know. You can't really do your own booking as a comic unless you're huge and you're booking theaters and you hire a touring company or whatever. But it's you do really need those people in your life. And my friends and I are all kind of in a really similar place right now, where we're at the peak of work that we have to do for ourselves without having enough money to have an assistant. And so none of my friends have assistants, and all of us are need assistance. And so we have our agents and our managers, but it's really it's quite a lot of it's not even just admin stuff. It's we're also out of our city all the time because all of us are on tour. So when we come to town, it's a manic rush to do all these errands and do self-tapes and send writing packages in and do all this stuff, and then you have to leave for the airport the next day. It's the not being in the city that makes it so difficult, because otherwise I'm sure we could manage, but my bread and butter is touring, so I have to every weekend I'm on the road. I still love doing the road. It's just hard to balance everything.
Right. And when you're maintaining a house with somebody who's also on tour.
I know. Well, I was just talking about this with somebody too. My boyfriend is the clean one, and so it's kind of good for our relationship if I'm on the road because I can't create my piles. Yeah. I love to make piles. He does not like piles. He does not like my piles. He also notices if there's no surfaces left in the house.
Yes.
Boy, and I hear about it.
He's like, oh, honey, go ahead and pick up that extra date on tour. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. He's I need surfaces. I need them. And I do get that. And so we're lucky because we have a nice 2-bedroom. And so the second bedroom is my pile room. That's where I pile my clothes and my things, my treasures.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you? So it sounds like you and Taylor both started at very early ages.
Yes.
How did you get picked for
to open for her? Yeah. So we met at the Hollywood Improv. I had a set, and then I think that she was next. She watched it probably, just because she was right after me. And then I feel like my set wasn't even that good. It was okay, but sometimes you have a mediocre set. Yeah. And then she came up to me after and she was like, "I love your hair." And I was like,
"Holy cow! She's got nice hair."
She's got nice hair. I know. And then we started messaging on Instagram after that, and she's like, "Nice to meet you." Blah blah blah. And then I was like, "Do you want to go for a little walk together?" And then we started doing just kind of little, I say hikes, but it was paved in a circle, pretty. I say hike, but I could have been holding a coffee with no lid, and nothing would have. And so and it was really nice. We were going for these long walks together. We were talking about we started so young, and we're both we're both really on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Different venues, but different, she's doing theaters in Europe and I'm doing half-sold comedy clubs and whatever. But still, it was like, it is kind of unique to find a young woman that loves to be on the road every weekend. And so we were really connecting on that a lot. And she has her regular openers and she has like, close friend openers, and so I just come in when they're unavailable. Basically, I'm the second string, but I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready anytime. Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot in common. So I really enjoy our relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting to watch you open for Mark Maron, it was because all I've seen you, is your I think your very first set at Moontower 2 years ago was at the Hideout Theater, very small black box theater, and I don't know, probably half filled room.
Yeah.
And then seeing you in front of a sold out
Paramount
large theater like Paramount, it's like, it translated really nicely, and you got great reaction in that theater.
So sweet. I don't remember whatever the first show was at the first
really?
festival.
It was
no.
like the Canadian show at the Hideout.
I do remember that show. That's so, I remember nobody was there.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to come see the Canadian show.
Yeah, I know. It was like one of the first shows of the festival. So it's
yes,
like,
I do remember that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And, it's like a lot of similar material.
Yeah.
But just in front of... So it's either the material is fantastic no matter where, but also like you've gotten very comfortable with performing in front of those large
bigger audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a couple different theater run. Like there was, I was working with Rick Mercer in Canada, who's like a Canadian political icon. He's kind of he's our Jon Stewart in Canada. And it was a Just for Laughs tour where I was opening for him, and we did like 30 theaters across Canada.
Wow.
I didn't even know Canada had 30 theaters, but Rick Mercer can sell out all of them. And that was such a good experience because that also was clean. It was like a clean, leaning tour.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't really doing my favorite jokes because I like edgy stuff, but I have clean stuff as well.
Yeah.
And so that got me really... Like, you can really feel the difference. I mean, it feels obvious. We can really feel the difference in doing a theater versus doing a club. It feels like you're doing art. Like, it really feels like quite a big... People are dressed nice. There's nice seats. And then... I love clubs, too, because I'm more gritty. I'm a little goblin girl. Like, you guys, you get it. Like, it's sort of fun to skulk around, do my little things. But then to see, like, a Taylor Tomlinson... do jokes that would do really well in a club, doing really well in a nice theater is really cool, and it really makes you realize that much bigger parts of the population that I thought have a great sense of humor, like a little bit of edge, have, because we get so sucked into stuff online and everyone feels so extreme, and then you realize that most people, we're all kind of similar. Pretty much everyone's similar. And then the people online that are the loudest are the minority.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next round of questions is, you have a tradition with, and I can't remember which family member it is, but it is you teach new slang to
my dad.
Your dad.
Yeah.
Once a year, you teach him a new.
Yes.
What is this year? What's the 2024 slang?
Riz.
Okay.
Did I teach him Riz last? No, last year I taught him thirsty.
Okay. Yeah. So Riz.
Riz.
All right.
Short for charisma.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah. And I know I knew that one. So I did my homework.
Yeah.
Because I have a teenager.
Yes.
And I don't get this one, but I think that's the point.
Okay.
Chat. Yeah. So it's like a prompt. Because I thought it was, you're treating the other person like a chat GPT. Chat. Respond
I don't even
to me.
know chat. What is this one?
It's like, chat. Tell me something. I don't get it.
Just like having chat with somebody, or
you just say chat, and then you're supposed to respond with
chat.
No. You're supposed to respond. Back? No, you.
I'll say chit. You say chat. Is that it?
Yeah, basically.
It's like what?
Spill it, like.
Oh,
chat.
like tea. Oh,
yeah.
Chat. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I haven't heard this one. I love it.
Yeah, so there
okay,
you go.
now every
My
year you teach me one. You're ahead now. I've lost it.
When he goes off to college, it'll be, smarter.
Yeah.
Teen slang.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure you guys know this one, but serving cunt.
What?
Do you know serving cunt?
No.
This will be my one I teach my dad, because my dad's an old punk rocker. He loves to swear. But serving cunt is like, you look amazing. You're serving cunt. It's. I believe that the general definition is just oozing in femininity and beauty.
Wow.
So you see someone and go, "You're serving cunt today," and you can just say "serving." You're serving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're not feeling like,
yeah, depending on who I'm talking to.
Yeah, serving or giving cunt.
Okay.
Yeah, we can bleep it for the. Perfect for the serving.
Oh yeah, you're literally serving.
There's another one that's similar. That's just a compliment, and it's she ate.
Huh. Okay.
If someone looks good, she ate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the number 8, as in high on the
8.
scale, or 18?
Yum, yum,
Okay.
yum.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll report back.
My boyfriend is really not online, is not up to date on slang,
Yeah.
but he brought up a slang to me recently that he told me he really likes.
Yeah.
Is when you say "let him cook."
Okay.
And "let him cook" is like if somebody's talking and it sounds like you're not really sure where they're going with it, or it sounds a bit problematic, or it could for any reason somebody's talking and you're not sure about it.
Yeah.
Someone goes, "Let him cook." Like let him give whatever he's trying to put together, and he likes that because sort of the reactive tribalism or whatever you want to call it online. If somebody's saying something and then you say "let him cook," it's a little bit like there's a slang for it. It feels like there's a really wide appetite for somebody getting deeper into a thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or digging their own hole.
Or digging your own hole.
Sometimes,
Exactly.
yeah.
Sometimes you let him cook and the food is rotten.
Yeah. What was the 8 one again?
She ate.
She ate. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let him cook and then she ate.
Serving cup. All right.
And serving. Yeah, you got it. Serving, yeah. Yeah, she's serving.
All right. I will confer with my teenage son and see.
Oh my gosh!
kids.
If he's wearing his favorite outfit, you go up to him and you say, "You were serving cunt today," and you tell me what he said. I implore you to try this.
Prom is coming up.
Oh, prom!
Prom is coming up.
You know he's gonna be serving.
I've seen.
Save it until then. Don't tell him you know it, and then at prom say you were serving cunt.
He's
He's gonna lose it. He's gonna love it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a master plan. I will report back. It is, I think, first weekend of May.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hang on.
I better hear about it. You better try it. I better hear about it. I'll remind you.
I'll post a picture and say serving cunt.
I know.
The
Set up a
caption.
hidden camera and of you saying it to him.
He will be mortified.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's right. That's what we're here for, is mortifying ourselves.
Okay. You got to be on After Midnight.
Yes?
Was that your? That wasn't your first televised performance, but was it your first kind of?
Game showy.
Yeah, game show.
Yes. And I really love British panel shows. My favorite show is called Would I Lie to You? Have you seen this? Okay, I think all the episodes are free on YouTube. It is the funniest show. I cannot believe it doesn't exist in Canada or in the States.
Yeah.
It's there's a host, and then on either side there's 3 comics, and the one in the middle on each side are always there. They're like kind of hosts as well, and they all take turns bringing up a little piece of paper, and they read it, and the other team has to figure out if it's a truth or a lie. But they ask them questions right away, and they have to act like it's the truth, and they have to answer the questions, and the comedians dig really well, and ask details of stuff, and it is the funniest show. And so I've always been a big fan of British panel shows, and this is feels like by far the most successful version in the States.
Yeah. And they've brought in really great comics. Obviously,
Oh, it's such a great platform for comics. You're not burning your material. You get to be yourself.
Yeah.
It's I love it. I really love it.
She's a great host.
She's such a great host. She took to it so quickly.
Yeah. So very cool. What else do you have brewing ahead that people can look forward to?
Well, I am trying to do a special. I would love to do a special. It's just I don't really have money kicking around, and I gotta figure it out. I have an hour that I'm trying to figure out how to turn into a special, and I want to do more of my little political things and see if that turns into anything interesting.
Yeah.
And always on the road. Always on the road.
Yeah. Are you going to come back to Austin and headline again?
I think so.
Next year?
I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, it's not on the books, but I think it's in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, because that would be fun to see. Because I missed your New Year's when you came out for that, so I get to see the little pieces at the festival. But
Yeah.
I'd love to see like the
Full hour. Yeah, that would be so
that'd
fun.
cool. Yeah. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you want to talk about? No new obsessions with vintage Viking.
Oh, I did bring. I
shirts?
have a couple of
Did
those.
you?
I still do love those. My new. I mean, I don't know if you saw my other video, but my new fashion aesthetic title is Dolphin Trainer Core. And so sort of killing it, sort of SeaWorld. Yeah, and I was really trying to get it going online. That was one of my first videos. I was like, Dolphin Trainer Core, let's do it. Nobody really did it, but I'm gonna keep trying. If I keep pushing it, somebody will do it. Because it's like stretchy, long sleeves, blue. You know, that's fun. That's fun, right?
Yeah.
Then why will nobody else do it? You try to be a leader and nobody copies you.
They need you to set the trend and continue going viral. And, All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I mean, I'm just doing my best, and we'll see where I'm at next year.
Yeah. Well, hopefully back.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So I do this one word to describe your past and one word to describe your future. I've never revisited with you those words, but it's been 2 years since our original conversation. And back then, your original, well, I don't know. Do you want to revisit your one word to describe your past and your future?
No. Let's leave it in the past.
Okay. Do you want to know what they were? Do you remember?
No, I don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
No.
Okay. All right. But
It lives in the past. Okay. That's my past.
even the word in the future was back then, that's in the past. So you don't
Tell me
know.
what my future one was only.
It's money.
Money. Ugh, that's still my future. I'll keep that one the same as the future. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is a wrap on Comedy Wham presents Sophie Buddle back for our fourth chat. Tell us where we can find you on social media and upcoming projects.
Yes, I'm SophBuds on Instagram, SophBuds, and I believe it's the same on TikTok. And I am working on being more up to date on my website, SophieBuddle.com, so that people can find my tour dates. I've received several phone calls that I have not been doing a very good job on my website update, and so my other future word is website.
And assistant.
I will be better. Website assistance and money. Oh yeah, lots to do. Let her cook. Ooh, she's working on it. But thank you so much for having me. It's always so wonderful to see you. I love chatting with you. I love running into you.
Yay. Okay, well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about how Sophie got to be the comedic genius that you're today, and listen and watch those interesting
And serve.
stores. Yeah, and serve.
And serve what? Serve what?
Serve cunt.
Oh, my goodness. At the Driscoll, she's saying cunt. Let's get her out of here. Let's get her home. Acting crazy at this festival.
This has been Comedy Wham presents Sophie Buddle. I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you.